morning YouTubers. Today we're taking the Hunter off a little excursion, not far, but we're heading off to BOL D'OR motorcycles, which is very close to me. And BOL D'OR is run by Dave Young, and he restores, also sells and maintains classic motorbikes, in particular Triumphs. And we're going to see what he's got in stock and have a chat with Dave today. And I thought I'd take you along for the ride. So let's crack on. Right, tally ho. Right, here we are at BOL D'OR. Let's go in and see what's in Aladdin's cave. Right, here we are at BOL D'OR. We've got some lovely bikes to show you, but first of all we'll meet the proprietor, young Dave. How you doing?
Good morning, Paul.
How you doing? All right.
You all right, mate? How you going?
Busy working away.
Yeah, hopefully.
So this is BOL D'OR. Dave was almost my neighbour here because I only lived just around the corner, so it was very handy for me, wasn't it? But BOL D'OR has been here. How long have you actually been in Paulborough? Yeah.
14 years in August.
Oh, okay.
This August.
But it didn't start here, did it?
No,
So you
it
were
started in Worthing, in Portland Road, in November 1978.
Yeah.
And we ended up with 3 shops in Worthing and 2 in Devon.
Oh, so they were a main dealer for
every agency except for Yamaha.
Oh, okay.
Which was Basil Keys.
Basil,
yeah, he's long gone now, but Keys used to be the Yamaha.
Yeah.
And we had all the other franchises. We had a Suzuki shop in Barnstable and a Honda dealership in Bideford.
Yeah.
All the other agents we had in Worthing.
Yeah.
And then we moved to an ex-Wadham Stringer garage.
Oh,
in Worthing.
They're still going, aren't they, Wadham Stringer? I don't know.
It's
an old name now, isn't it? Yeah.
This was a massive, great shop. We had just about everything in there. There's hundreds of bikes.
Yeah.
Plus we had a barn in Titnall Lane with 350 British classic bikes.
Oh, really?
That we shipped in from America.
So they were really involved in everything, really. BOL D'OR then.
Yeah.
So doing.
Well, Bill Botfield, who used to be the guy that started it, asked me if I'd go down and give him a hand to get the shop started, and it all sprung up from there. And it got out of hand, really. It just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And we was going to the States. I was delivering bikes out to Switzerland, Germany, Belgium, in Europe, and then bringing back not illegal Hondas, but grey imports, which is what they called them then.
Yeah, but I suppose you could only do that at some time. If you wanted certain bikes, that's all you could do, isn't it?
Yeah, but a lot of the bikes that Europe get, we never had over here, and I think Britain was always last on the list. Yeah. America was like first choice of everybody, then it was Europe, then Britain.
But that still happens though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We still see a lot of bikes even in Europe that we don't get here.
Yeah, quite a few, yeah.
Yeah, and there's some nice bikes as well. There's some nice bikes that you don't get.
I mean, when you think even Triumph have disappeared out of the country, and Royal Enfield, and they're bringing out some brilliant bikes now, but everybody else gets first choice of them, as usual.
Yeah, they do. So you're.
I retired. When did I retire? Christ, how old I am now. I retired officially 12 years ago, but it started off as like a hobby, and I'm doing more hours now.
I don't get the sense that you've retired though, Dave, because you're always in there.
No, it's turned out to be a job come hobby, everything.
Yeah.
And I get so many customers coming in, don't you dare retire. I go, well, I am retired, but please don't give up, because no one wants to know about old British bikes.
Well, that's the whole
even
thing in the UK, isn't it, that we can't, once these sort of slightly unique places are gone, they're gone. And who's going to take their place?
We're all dying off. That's the trouble. Either too old, unhealthy, or whatever. But I just love working on old bikes, even old Japanese bikes. I mean,
yeah. So
there's lots of Japanese classic.
Because what are you working on now? I see
It's a 1999 ZRX 1100.
Yeah.
And the bike itself is absolutely immaculate. It's done 13,000 miles in 25 years.
Yeah.
But because it's been left for the last year, ethanol petrol's decided to eat its way through the carburetors.
Yeah.
All the jets and everything. Battery's gone where it's been stood. But the bike itself is worth keeping. It's a stunning
But this is
bike.
slightly where the market is at the moment, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
in this sort of period bike.
Yeah, I think it's the next generation after mine, if you like. They're into 70s and 80s bikes now.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a couple of guys.
I mean, some of them are good and some of them are awful, aren't they? But there's some which,
I mean,
particularly Kawasaki, were making engines
these
which
are
were phenomenal.
stonking bike.
Yeah, because you got. So what I was always find interesting about your shop is that you'll have something like that on the bench, and then you'll have something like that. So that looks.
That's a TR6, but just fitting electronic ignition on that one. That's the guy,
okay.
The guy wants to go off-roading on it,
But that's the beauty, though, isn't it, of bikes, even at this period.
Yeah.
You could just go and do it. You don't have to cover it in cotton wool.
This is an early 70s bike.
Yeah. So we'll have a look around some of the other bikes you got in here.
Yeah.
Because most of these you've worked on, haven't you? Really?
Nearly all of them, yeah.
Over the period.
Yeah.
Because what I always find really interesting, you'll have the Kawasaki on there, and then you come over right opposite, and you end up with this. I mean, this is like going into Sammy Miller's museum.
Yeah, that
in the
one
quality.
was 1937. What's that?
So it's an aerial.
63, 83. That's 87 years old.
Because when you look at that, that's this. I immediately think of like Bruffs and things like that, with the black and the silver.
That's it. Well, nearly every bike, same as cars, are always black.
Was there any reason for that? It was just cheap.
Just cheap.
And I suppose people didn't think of any.
Who wanted a coloured car in the 50s and the 40s and 50s? They all thought you were a bit strange. Everything was black, I suppose, just cheap.
And I always think when you look at the exhaust, that's a work of art, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that you see that type of exhaust on other bikes of the period, didn't you?
Velocets, fished out Brooklyn's silencers. It was a thing in the 50s and 40s more than anything.
Did that have any effect on the performance then? Was that
were they working? Mostly styling.
It's just styling. Yeah. But it's really,
all the manufacturers.
It's really cool, isn't it?
Silencers.
It just looks really good. But I presume you can still buy stuff like this.
Yeah, these are brand new exhausts.
Brand new exhausts. So is this something you're working on, or is it for sale?
I've finished it. It's all up and running now.
So this is something you've had in for sort of restoration and such, and
we've done stuff. That one and the little Bantam there. He's bringing a TR6 in later on.
This is the one I always, whenever I come in the shop,
the Hurricane.
The Hurricane.
They made one. I think it's 1,130 altogether. And the weird part is we only sold 40 in the UK.
Really? So this is,
most of them went to America and Australia.
This is about as rare as it gets, isn't it? In
Triumph-wise, yeah.
Because you can sort of see that the exhaust, you've got the triple exhaust.
It's designed
because it's a triple engine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically a Rocket
engine.
3 Trident engine. It was designed by American Craig Vetter.
Yeah.
He designed it. This one we've put electric start on it now.
I mean, I just think that it's a stunning thing.
Yeah.
It's quite a narrow market in it that people would like that. But if I had come in with that with bottomless pockets, that's what I'd ride out on today. I just think that's. But these are stunning. So then we go along, and then you've got Ducatis.
Yeah, I mean their bikes are typical Ferrari styled, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got the Monster. I've got a video with my Monster, and it's a bike that'll get you in trouble really quickly.
Yeah,
because when you start it up and you hear it, you just want to go fast on it.
Yeah,
and I absolutely love it. But because mine's obviously the naked bike, and what year is this from?
That's 2005.
Oh, so that's only 2 years newer than my Monster, isn't it?
Yeah.
But is that air cooled or water cooled?
Water cooled.
That's water cooled. Yeah. What's amazing, you can come into a shop like this, which people might not necessarily know is here, and you got this eclectic mix. So you got the Marini 3.5.
Yeah.
And then you got this, the Verda, which has actually got a Triumph engine in it, isn't it?
Got a mid-60s Bonneville engine in it. Yeah.
That's what you did that, then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you changed it.
You can't get parts. Can't get parts for these anymore. Prettier took them over, then just shut it down. It was originally.
So the Verda's completely gone now. Is it gone?
As far as I know, they have. I don't know of anyone who's a Laverda dealer anymore.
No, I was thinking about this the other day.
They might still do little bikes in Italy, but I don't know anyone that does any of these anymore.
You think that's another name that might be worth resurrecting, isn't it? Because everything else is being resurrected.
Yeah, it's just money to go into a mass production to make a go of it.
Because this is another one of your restorations, isn't it? This Moto Guzzi Le Mans,
Moto Guzzi Le Mans Mark II.
Yeah. Now I think these are stunning. Yeah, and I'm looking at a Moto Guzzi at the moment, a VT85, because it's the same engine, isn't it, really?
Yeah, they haven't
really changed, it's just been updated for emissions and stuff.
Ball them out, make them bigger, but they're great bikes. I mean, they'll police use them in Italy, but they'll sit on the motorway at 100 mile an hour and go around the world and back again at that.
I always do think the seats look a bit...
They're quite comfortable.
Is it?
It's weird, yeah.
It looks quite
You'll
tough.
find soft
hard work,
seats are all right for 10 miles and they're uncomfortable. And the hard seats are uncomfortable 10 miles, then they're all right.
And then you've got... This is another... We were talking earlier about bikes which have suddenly come up in price.
Yeah,
so the Thunderbird 900.
Yeah.
And you got your Grom. But the one I wanted to pick out, which I think is a fantastic thing, I don't know what shops you can come into and buy, a Triumph Hurricane, which is one of the rarest Triumphs you can get, and then so you can be sort of like Easy Rider, or you can be Tom Cruise.
I know, it's mad.
And you got a GPz 900R.
Yeah.
And this is pretty stock, isn't it?
I think it's all standard except for the exhaust, but every one of these Kawasaki's from the early 80s, the exhaust always rotted out and everyone put a 4-inch one on them.
But these are really... This was quite a revolution, wasn't it, when it came out?
It was the first 16-valve, double overhead cam, water-cooled sports bike.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 155 mile an hour bike in 1984. So 40 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, they're an impressive bit of kit. And this one's really, really clean, isn't it?
Yeah, he spent quite a lot of money on it, doing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got in the corner here, which I hadn't seen before.
Trials Cub. Yeah, that one's going up to Scotland in a couple of months' time in one of these ISDT trials.
Yeah. Is that a single 350?
That's a 200cc single.
200 single.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's historic trial. You can do historic trial.
Yeah, pre-65 trials.
I always wonder what these would make as a road bike if you tried to...
Great.
I would have thought they'd be good,
I had one when I was 16.
Yeah.
That's what I learnt on. Brilliant bikes.
See, so I was watching you fix this Bantam the other day.
Yeah,
so
that's had a complete engine rebuild.
Yeah. But I mean, there's millions of these things around, isn't there?
Yeah.
And what's that? Is that what size engine is that one?
That's 125. That's
125.
That's a D... no, it's not. It's a 150. That's a D3.
Yeah.
But they started off as 125s, then they went to 150, then 175.
Yeah.
And the very last ones, they called them Bantam Cubs. They put the Tiger Cub engine in a Bantam.
But it's funny, when you look at the mix of bikes in here, you pretty much worked on everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, if it's got two wheels and an engine, it's called a motorbike, I'll work on it.
Well, I know I've come in here and I've seen you with the box. I'm not going to say it was a box of motorbike parts, just a box of metal. And I'll come back a few days later and it's turned into a motorbike.
Yeah.
Because you bought a box of bits from somewhere and it's turned into a bike.
Yeah.
Right, I noticed this on your wall date, and I remember you talking about it. What is this? Why you got a picture of Jason Statham on your wall?
MGM phoned me up and wanted to hire the Z1R for the film.
Yeah.
They're doing part of the film in Australia, but they said it's time they shipped another one over.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth doing it, so they hired that one. And that was Jason Statham using it in the film Killer Elite.
That is also the bike out of Mad Max, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the Mad Max bike, isn't it? I was just looking at that and I think...
he had slightly different bars and stuff. Bars and
you don't see those anymore, do you?
I can't think what they called him now.
You had the toe cutter.
Toe cutter and so
yeah.
Yeah, he was on the police. That was a police bike, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, he got killed in that one, didn't he?
Yeah, phenomenal. When was that?
Christ, that's about 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago. Fantastic. If you were offered a row of Bonnevilles, which one would you dive onto?
Personally, I'd take a 62 Bonneville pre-unit, the last of the pre-units.
So what is, when we say unit, so we talked about this, what do we actually mean unit, pre-unit and post-unit?
What it is that the pre-unit ones, the gearbox is separate from the engine. It's on the modern ones, the whole engine, gearbox, chain case is all made as one unit.
Yeah.
And the pre-unit, the chain case was separate, the engine was separate, so you could take the engine out and leave the gearbox in.
Yeah.
And then they've got so many, I've probably got so many oil leaks and bits,
Yeah.
decided to put it all into one and have the case, gearbox goes into that side of the case, electrics and your cams in that side and your chain case the other side. It just makes manufacturing that much easier.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
and presumably that's how all bikes are made now. They're all pretty much.
Where the British made the mistake, they split their crankcases vertically. So there's always the chance of a leak.
That's I can remember back in my day.
You split the engines horizontally.
Yeah.
And when you take them apart, you can turn the engine up and get all your gears and everything.
Yeah.
And there's no gaps for the oil to leak into. You leave it standing, and it's like a sump on a car. The oil's in the bottom. On an old British bike, there's all the joints where the oil can seep through.
Well, I've heard that said before, and I never really understood that. But you can.
Modern
you can have
places.
slurp in the because all the oil was gone into the sump.
Yeah, and because the old bikes.
But I always assumed the oil was always in the sump. But I'm not. That's not.
No, not the old bikes have the oil
in the frame.
Tank.
Oh, okay.
And the later ones had it in the frame.
Yeah.
It was a Japanese. Some of them had it in the tank.
Yeah.
In a separate tank. But most modern bikes, nearly every modern bike now, has it like a car. The oil is inside the engine. It does the gearbox and everything.
Yeah. So when we set things that it's all the oil's gone into the sump on a bike like that is because it's either leaked out the frame or out the tank, and it's dropped into the bottom of the engine.
Yeah.
Whereas it would normally be pumped around continually.
It's normally. The trouble is that the older bikes, the clearances for tolerance. I always had a guy from Triumph. He said the old bikes, the tolerances were done with a fingernail.
Somebody else said that to me.
The Japanese do it with half a hair, thickness of a hair. They do it in microns, and the British used to go.
Yeah, stick your finger in it. Yeah, that'd be good.
That gap's all.
So you're open
normally from 9.
6 days, aren't you?
Yeah, from 9 till 5:30 Tuesday to Friday.
Yeah.
And 9 till 3 on Saturday.
Yeah. I know people can always give you a ring. Make sure you got space on the bench.
I'm on the mobile 24 hours a day.
Basically, yeah. Don't tell people that, Dave. Yeah, don't tell anyone.
No. They still do it anyway.
Yeah.
We're having a Sunday lunch and people are phoning up. Can I bring my bike in?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what it is.
If it's a motorbike,
if you've got 2 wheels and an engine, you'll give it a go. Well, it's been fascinating. I know whenever I come here, we just spend most of the time talking. We're getting anything done, but
you're costing me a fortune.
Costing you a fortune, yeah. You need to get on your bikes. So you got your Kawasaki to finish.
Yeah, the stuff literally just turned up for that. I mean, normally you're getting spares for it, you have to wait. But I ordered that 3 o'clock yesterday. Yeah. And it came this morning, 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. Delivery people seem to be getting it right, don't they? The rest of the country doesn't.
Good old post office.
Right. Well, thanks for showing us around, Dave.
That's all right, Paul.
It's been really good, and I'm going to put a little montage together of just the other bikes you got here. But I'll put a link to your website up here so you can see the bikes that are for sale. Yeah. And come and see Dave. It's a fantastic shop. You'll be amazed what's sitting in here. But we'll see you in the next video. Yeah. Take care.
Okay, Paul.